Hello everybody and welcome back to the HTML Beginners course. So hopefully you've watched the opening video in this course and are now ready to begin coding our very first web page. Let's begin. To start with, we will need to create a folder that will contain all of our website files. I will call the folder Beginners Course. I will locate mine in the Documents section, but you can place it anywhere you like, as long as you're aware of the file location. We will open the folder in our code editor, which we downloaded for free in the first part of the course. And now we can control all of our website files and folders from within our code editor. So let's create a new document file, which we will call index.html. The home page of any website is called the index page, and it is the standard page the web browser looks for when a URL is entered into the search engine. We give our document the extension of HTML as that is the type of document we will be creating. This is similar to, for example, when we create a Word document in Microsoft Word, and it is a docx file type. Okay, we have our blank index.html document as our website homepage now. If we load this into our web browser by opening the file, we can see that the web page is blank. Depending on your computer settings, when you double click the file to open it, it may try and open it with a different program, or even ask you what program you want to open the file with. Simply choose your web browser if asked, or right-click and choose your web browser that way. Now, to understand why we use HTML at all, and to prove our web page is working, let's run a little test. We will write something into our blank index.html document. I will write the main heading for the page we are going to build in this beginner's course. Web code funds, pizza, tomato sauce recipe. But you can write whatever you would like your first website words to be. We will refresh our browser, and there we go. We can see the text printed out on our web page in the left-hand corner. Now, to expand this test, let's write a couple of starter paragraphs. I will write some opening lines for our pizza sauce. I will space this out as we would normally. Refresh our page in the browser. We can see that the web browser has completely ignored the spacing we have entered. All the words are together on the same line and only one space between words. This is because the browser needs to be told how we want it to display our web page. We need to tell it to add line breaks or to space out the words. We need to tell it whether we want the text to be small, large, bold, in a list, etc. Imagine if we wanted to add colour and graphics. How would the web browser know what to do with them? Where will they sit? What size will they be? This is where HTML, or hypertext markup language, comes into play. It is a set of rules that all web browsers can translate, and so we can use it to tell the web browser how we want our web page to be interpreted. Let's add our first piece of HTML and spruce up what we have a little bit. Firstly, we will tell the browser that we are using HTML to mark up our page. HTML5 is what all new websites use. Every HTML page we build will always start with the DOCTYPE HTML at the very top. When previous versions of HTML were being used back in the old days, the browser had to be told which version of HTML or other language we were using. Fortunately, those days are over and this is all we have to add. You will do this for every web page that you create, so it will become second nature after a short while. We then create our root element for the page with the HTML tag. Simply type the opening tag HTML and the closing tag /HTML. HTML tags can be written in any case, as they are case insensitive. All of these cases will work, but it's best practice to write them in lowercase as it makes our code easier to read and maintain. So that is what we will do. The HTML element wraps all the content on the page. Within this is the head element and the body element. The head element is a container for all the things we want for the page that isn't the content we want to display. This will include links to our CSS, what language the page is written in, etc. Anything you write within the head tags is not expected to appear on the web page for viewers. Within the body tag is all the content that we do want to display on our web page. This can be headings, text, images, videos, games. Let's move our text into this element then. Okay, our text is now in the right place, but it will still not be formatted at all. To do that, we'll need to add some more markup to it. Before we do that though, let's quickly learn how to add comments to our HTML page. Comments are ignored by the browser, so whatever we put in a comment will have no bearing on our web page. To create a comment, we open it with less than, exclamation mark, dash dash, and we close it with a dash dash greater than. Anything we put between these two markers will be ignored. We should use comments to keep track of our code, make it more readable and easier to skim to the section we want. Although comments will not appear on the web page, anyone can read them if they open the source code for the page, so don't put anything you wouldn't want to be read in there. We will use comments throughout this course to help with our learning. Back to our content then. Let's start adding some more HTML. Our heading and opening paragraphs will form the header section of our page. The header represents our introductory content. We can create our header element in HTML by wrapping the content in the header tag. Within our header, we have our heading, and we can make an element a heading in HTML by wrapping the content in a heading tag. A heading tag contains a number from 1 to 6, i.e. these tags are h1 to h6. We will give our heading a h1 tag as it is the most important heading on the page. Our two paragraphs within the header element will use the p tag, which in HTML is used for paragraph elements. These are probably the most common elements you will use in building web pages. Now, if we refresh our web page, we can see our heading is bigger and bolder, and our paragraphs are separated out below. Great, we have some formatting. Let's take a closer look at what is going on in our code. These tags tell the browser what type of element we are creating. An element is basically anything we want to be on our page: a heading, a paragraph, an image. Depending on what tags we wrap our content in, they will have a preset formatting that the browser will use. When the browser sees that we have marked our heading with the h1 tag, it increases the font weight and adds some space around it, and increases the font size. Similarly, the p element has a standard font size, but will add some space below to differentiate that it is a paragraph. This is just like you would do if you wrote a paragraph with pen and paper, or a Microsoft Word for example. Now, these changes are generic and simplistic, and you'll know from experience that when viewing a website, the site will look a lot different to what we have created so far here. But every website follows these same rules by using HTML. What we can do is override these standardized formatting rules and apply our own, using CSS, which we'll get to in our beginner's CSS course. But first we need to have a firm grasp on HTML. Before we go, let's demonstrate the different heading elements we can use. As I said, we can make headings numbered 1 to 6. If you're coding along, pause the video and go and try this out for yourself. Create 6 headings with each tag and see what they look like. Okay, to show you what they look like, I'll quickly copy our heading out 6 times and change the heading tag number on each. We will refresh our web page and there we go. We can see how the browser makes each heading smaller depending on what significance we have given it with our tag choice. You will always use H1 for your most important heading and scale down depending on the importance of your subheadings. Your page should only ever have one H1 heading, but you can choose as many of the other numbers as you wish. Whilst HTML provides us with 6 heading elements, in truth, you will probably never need more than 3 or 4. With 6, they were making sure that no one ever had the chance to run out. So that's it for this tutorial. We've given our page its outline structure and created our first header element, learning our first markup. In the next lesson, we'll take a look at what sort of information we can put in the head tag and what effect this has on our website. Bye for now.